Hey everyone, it's Kristen. Um, Today we're going to be talking about a kind of goofy issue. I don't know, I just saw it and I was like, I wanted to know the secret. It's from 1994. Like I said, it's a very goofy, just like, what issue, but like I said, I wanted to know the secret, so I got it. We open on the Hulk in Doc Samson. He's a psychiatrist, and he was exposed to gamma rays. But so basically, he's been trying to help the Hulk, and they're having this conversation, like saying, "You know what? I can't help you anymore unless you want my help. I can't help you," which is true in most cases. If people don't want help or don't want to change or anything, then they're not going to. So basically, you see Hulk put his fist through the mirror, and he breaks down and he's like, "Please don't leave me, please." And so you find out later in the issue it's because Hulk just, when he saw, his alternate future persona and how he was nothing but pure evil, like that just kind of scared him. And he talks about his father. He always relates back to childhood issues, where his father would be so angry all the time and just hold it in, and he no longer wanted to be that person. And just to when he saw that future alternate image of himself, he just thought of his father, and he was like, I don't want to be like that. So basically, the bachelor party is for Rick Jones, who's like a Hulk sidekick. I mean, like an Avenger sidekick, I should say. He's a sidekick, but he's still an important part of the Avengers storyline, if that makes sense. He's not a huge part, but he's definitely a part. Anyway, so he's getting married to Marlo, and here you see like Captain America talking to the Human Torch and Sue Storm, and this is where notice her costume. This is one of those costume changes. Well, and you'll find it significant because later on in the issue, to see what she's wearing, and you're like, that makes no sense. Because we're used to her costume where she's covered up and has the four, and here basically there's a cutout, a I will say boob cutout of a four in her uniform, and you're just like, why? I don't understand. Anyway, it's very interesting to see the think about the juxtaposition of that and compared to what she's wearing later on in this issue, which I'll show you. It's just, you're like, okay, what? And so then, like, they go to pick up Marlo's mom from the airport, and Betty says, hey, Hulk's wife, says, hey, it's a good indication of what your wife will look like in 20 years. And then Rick sees this girl, and he's like, ooh. And then, but no, there's the mom. And he's like, oh, okay. And the next page is funny because Hulk makes a joke, and the mom's like, oh, look, my bags. And, Hulk's like, I'll get them. And, like, you see him struggling to lift them. And everyone's, like, slack-jawed. And he's like, I'm kidding. See? And Betty's like, oh, my gosh. Basically rolling her eyes like, are you kidding me? Anyway, I just thought that was funny. And then they're having their bachelorette party. And it's just like a little quiet, she's like, oh, good, I'm glad it's just like a quiet evening here, And you see, here's Sue Storm. And look what she's wearing. She's totally covered up, which is a totally different image than what she was wearing, her costume. And I don't know, it's just weird because you think, okay, I mean, like, literally, she's totally totally buttoned up. Not even a button's undone. Anyway, so She-Hulk, like, comes along and grabs Marlo, like, kidnaps her. Um, and the mom's freaking out because she thinks her daughter's being kidnapped by aliens, but they're like, oh no, it's just us. We're just taking her to, a party. And so here's Captain America. He rented, like, the Veterans Hall for the guys' party. And, Rip's like, yeah, thanks, thanks for this, Cap. I mean, it's great. And he's already drunk because, and it's so funny because Captain America's like, you swore this punch was non-alcoholic. And Hulk's like, it is. And then you see, like these guys who are Rick's friends, like spiking the punch. And then you see Hercules come over here, and he drinks the whole thing, and he's like, it tastes like milk. Anyway, and then on the next page, there's this girl that comes in, and she's like, stand back, I've come for Rick. And Captain America's like, you better do what she says. And basically. And then she says, Nick Fury says hi. And Captain America, he says, well, but Nick said she was a magician. Because you think, what, Cap had something to do with it? But yeah, Cap would never. Because he's just like, a Boy Scout, which is just the era that he grew up in and who he is. And I don't know. I just found that was funny that like, it's like, oh my gosh, Cap hired a stripper. But no, it was Nick's idea, and Cap went along with it because he thought she was a magician. And then here's the girls' party. They're going to like a male strip joint. And they're like, hey, Marlo's getting married. She wants to dance with you. That sort of thing. So, so they say, hey, Betty, so where'd you meet Marlo? And Betty says, it was right after I left the convent. And apparently she was a nun in training. And you're like, okay. That's something I did not know. And then these guys come in, and they're like, hey, we have guns. Give us your money. And the girls are all like, are you serious? Because, of course, they're all, like, superheroes. So, that was dumb. Like, see, the guy's like, who are you broads? And She-Hulk's like, we're the Roseanne Arnold fan club. And Sue's like, that's not funny, Jen. And she also says, Marlo's mom was right. You have zero sense of humor. And, I mean, you can see that there's Crystal, one of the elementals. And then you go back to the guys' party, and they have, like, a projector, and this guy's like, so, just so you should know, this is an artistic film. Lots of naked women, but it's artistic. And so there you go. And everyone's like, quiet. Well, Hulk says, quiet, please, or we'll miss the plot. And one of the guys is like, there's a plot? Quicksilver. Yeah. So, and then basically the secret of the bachelor party is revealed on the next page. Because, let's see. Rick says, Quicksilver says, that's an impressive woman. And Rick says, that's for sure, but I really must be in love because I see that woman and she just reminds me of Marlo. And then he turns to Bruce and says, Bruce, isn't that funny? And then you see it's Marlo that's acting in this film. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. And Vision says, that is your fiance? You must be very proud. So anyway, like I said, just one of those goofy issues that you're like, wow, okay. I can't believe they actually did that. But like I said, I wanted to know the secret. And now that I do, I'm like, oh, okay. Because, of course, I mean, I've never been to a bachelor party. I don't know what goes on there. I've never really been to a bachelorette party either. So, anyway, I wanted to know the secret. And now you guys all know the secret too. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. It was just a goofy, lighthearted, fun video. And it was weird, though, that they started the issue with Hulk talking to Doc Samson about his, because this was Hulk 417, so it was not like a standalone issue like the Mojo um, verse one we just did, or other ones. But so this was actually in the series, and it's just interesting that you have that at the beginning where he tells Doc Samson like why he's so like angry and why he finally wants help. So I thought that was really cool too. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you join me next time for future videos. Bye.